Has died and another hurt after a UTV crash in Beech Grove. Details from DPS. Plus, making the case the concern some neighbors shared last night as ExxonMobil fights for its carbon capture facility in Jefferson County. And Beaumont Police Chief Tim Oktashek, he's back in the 12 News studio this morning. He's talking about one of those bond proposals on the ballot this November. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with us here on Daybreak here on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong. Tia, she has the rest of the week off. It's now 7:01, so let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. And here's a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. We looked at Jasper. Now we're looking at Port Arthur. The skies are getting pretty out there. Jeff, any chance of rain out there today?
Oh yeah, we are looking at maybe some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially late this afternoon into this evening. Been watching a few showers down towards the coast. None of those really creeping in here too far towards the north. You can see they kind of made it to the coast and then kind of died down, and now they're kind of shifting off towards the south and west. So heading out to work right now, maybe out to school or something like that, you should be fine. There's nothing in the immediate area as far as any rain. Maybe a little bit of a lone shower down towards Winnie. That's about it. Temperatures right now into the lower 70s, 73 across Beaumont, Orange, Silsbee, Kirbyville, 72 in Jasper. Woodville's at 74, Port Arthur's at 76. And you can see a low-end rain chance through, it looks like the first half of the day. And then as we get into late in the afternoon, we'll go as high as 40% with temperatures right there around the lower 90s. Even higher rain chances looks like as we head towards Friday night football into your Saturday morning. We'll check that out in our 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Jeff. Devastating news this morning out of Jasper County. DPS confirming an 11-year-old boy was killed in a UTV crash yesterday in the Beech Grove area. This happening around 6 p.m. on County Road 146. Deputies say that the child driver was speeding when he went around a curve and flipped. Crews found the UTV on its side with the 11-year-old boy trapped underneath. It was a home health nurse who was in the area that helped slide that child out from under the vehicle. He was rushed to the hospital, but he later died. DPS says that a 7-year-old who was also riding in that UTV was injured. That child is expected to be okay. Now we'll keep you updated as we learn more. And Orange County deputies, they say they've arrested a suspect in the shooting Monday that left a woman injured. Investigators saying Robert Girodi III shot a 64-year-old woman at a home on Kennedy Drive in Pine Forest before being rushed to the hospital. She gave deputies a description of the suspect. Deputies caught Girodi near a wooded area later that night. He was arrested on 2 outstanding burglary warrants out of Sabine County. Sheriff Bobby Smith says charges are pending. The woman is expected to be okay. And now to Orange County, where we are learning more about a woman who was found dead inside of a home near Vidor last week. Her family says that they're heartbroken after 61-year-old Bambi Carmine was found in a home on Foxglove Drive early Thursday morning. Her son says that she loved her family, the beach, and traveling. She also dedicated 34 years of her life to nursing, only retiring a year ago.
She was putting herself through nursing school, working a full-time job, raising me as a single mother, but so she is the strongest, most hardest working woman I knew.
Loved ones, they started a GoFundMe to help cover funeral expenses. Investigators, they have not released a cause of death. But the sheriff's office, they have named 48-year-old Adrian Echeverria as a person of interest in her death. He is in the Orange County Jail this morning. More on that coming up at 7:30. In your Power City news, more than a dozen residents, they turned out Tuesday night raising concerns about a plan to store carbon dioxide deep underground in West Jefferson County. Reporter Derek Jones, he's in studio this morning with more on why some are worried that this project could put their health and safety at risk.
Mark, ExxonMobil's Rose carbon capture project would include an 18-mile pipeline to carry the CO2 from Mid-County to West Jefferson County. The CO2 will be stored thousands of feet underground beneath thick rock formations. The Houston CCS Alliance says this technology has been around for 50 years and transporting underground is a safer solution, with community impacts being extremely low. But residents still worry. Community members are concerned about the aftermath of the pipeline and the underground storage.
We've heard a lot of different things from scientists that says, the way they projected things to go is not exactly the way they're going to go. And so we want to protect our community. We would love for this to be in an area not inhabited by people.
Houston CCS Alliance says many studies have shown how safe the technology is, but for residents, that reassurance may not be enough. And this isn't the only carbon capture project planned for Jefferson County. Chevron is also developing the massive Bayou Bend project that will include onshore and offshore sites. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
Well, Congressman Randy Weber, he offered 12 News his perspective yesterday during a legislative update luncheon. The Port Arthur Chamber of Commerce hosting that event. It comes only a few days after state lawmakers approved new congressional maps that are going to redraw his district. 12 News reporter Daniela Tawada-Palau spoke with Representative Weber about how this affects his constituents.
Texas has the right to redistrict, as do a whole lot of other states.
State lawmakers have approved a new congressional map that awaits Governor Abbott's signature to become law. The new map will change the boundaries of the 14th congressional district, which Republican Randy Weber represents.
We have 7 ports, as I said, more than anybody else. We're going to lose 1 port in South Brazoria County. We're going to pick up some of the top half of Brazoria County and go up over into Fort Bend County.
Congressman Weber says the change won't impact how he approaches his job.
It won't really be a big change because I owned an air conditioning company for 35 years. It's all about service.
For how he represents constituents.
We are an open door, so when people come to us, I like to treat them.
Mel Spell, a Lumberton resident who owns a business in Beaumont, says she hopes all representatives will serve their constituents fairly.
We redistrict it to where we only have one party represented or one opinion represented, then we just lose a little bit of our democratic process, and less people are able to have a voice in that.
Democrats have voiced concerns about how the change will benefit Texas Republicans, accusing the party of gerrymandering and hurting minority representation in the state. Weber responds with some strong words.
They are the most guilty of doing those kinds of things that they're accusing us of, and so it's kind of the boy crying wolf.
And those new congressional maps, they have not yet been signed by Governor Abbott, but they are already the focus of at least one lawsuit. And speaking of, big news overnight on one of those lawsuits, the NAACP, they have filed an injunction asking a court to block one of those new maps. Now, the NAACP argues that the redistricting plan intentionally discriminates based on race, claiming that the maps are going to, quote, dilute the ability for black and brown communities to pick their political representation fairly, end quote. We'll keep you updated. And meanwhile, lawmakers, they are one step closer to getting rid of the STAR test. The House voted to replace it with 3 exams during the school year. KVUE's Adam Bennett has more.
House Bill 8 repeals the STAR test starting in the 2027 to 28 school year. It replaces it with 3 tests given at the beginning, middle, and end of the year. Results will come back within 48 hours. Republican State Representative Brad Buckley of Salado filed the bill. He says it limits benchmark tests and improves the accountability system.
Members, this bill addresses every single point that districts raised in their lawsuits against the state and offers other important changes to assessment and accountability that has been brought to me by teachers, district leaders, parents, and members on this floor.
Some Democrats have concerns, though, including State Rep Gina Hinojosa of Austin. She supported the bill the House passed during the regular session, but worries the special session version has too much testing. Now, she was able to add an amendment to the bill to limit the subjects that are tested to only what is federally required. Meanwhile, State Rep Diego Bernal of San Antonio wanted to hold off on voting for the bill and have a commission work out a new accountability system.
But it's clear that most people on the floor don't understand it. And they not only do they not understand it, but they either don't understand or don't care what it would do to the lived experience of kids like mine and yours when they go back to school.
Lawmakers struck down that idea. The bill ultimately passed largely along party lines.
And House Bill 8, it now heads to the Senate. During the regular session just a few weeks ago, the 2 chambers, they couldn't agree on a bill that would eliminate the STAR test. We'll be watching to see what happens this time around. And still ahead, Beaumont Police Chief Tim Ognishek, he's in studio sharing his thoughts on the new police headquarters that's on the ballot this November. Plus, Good Samaritans, they rescue a rideshare driver trapped in a sinking car. Hear from the men who are being hailed as heroes. Your time is now 7:10.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking like, oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Kerr County, they're taking steps to make sure that another deadly flood disaster never happens again. Commissioners, they unanimously approved creating a team to install flood sirens along the Guadalupe River. Now, we have learned that it's going to be led by former Kerr County Commissioner Tom Mosser, who used to be a NASA engineer. He says that this has been a project that he's been pushing for nearly 10 years, but the county could never get the state grants to pay for it. The team hopes to come up with a concrete plan in the next 6 months. Meanwhile, police in South Carolina, they're calling a pair of Good Samaritans heroes after they helped rescue a rideshare driver from his sinking car. Jesse Kirsch has this incredible video.
In just seconds, this rideshare driver's apparent wrong turn nearly cost him his life.
When did you realize this had gone terribly wrong?
When the water was up to my chest.
Watch the car drift into the water, the trunk door opening as the vehicle nosedives, with Peter Justy stuck inside. Remarkably, 2 Good Samaritans rush in to help in Isle of Palm, South Carolina. Peter Justy says the water was over his head.
Once I got the door open, I kind of crammed myself and jammed myself in between the door and the body of the vehicle, so it wouldn't close back on us. And then he still had his seatbelt on.
Police say the rideshare driver was trying to pick up passengers in rainy weather Saturday night when he accidentally drove onto this marina boat ramp. Water quickly surrounding the car before a Good Samaritan rushed in, helping pry the door open.
If they hadn't been there, how does this end?
Yeah, there's no telling. There is a drop off at the end of that ramp, and so it could have been fatal.
Robert Heaton didn't hesitate.
What compels you to rush in and help someone you've never met before in a situation where you're putting your own life in danger?
It's very simple for me. It's just, what is the right thing to do? What would I want somebody to do for me in that situation?
Peter Justy knows how lucky he is to be alive.
These people are heroes. You know, excuse me. You know, with all the bad stuff going on in the world, these guys need to be recognized.
Jesse Kirsch, NBC News.
7:15 now on this Wednesday morning, and depending on where you are across southeast Texas, some areas are getting clear skies. Other areas are getting a few clouds out there for this morning. Here's the view from Pack of the Prairie, and looks like over downtown Beaumont at least, we're seeing some mostly clear skies, a lot of blue out there. Our Roofing 911 Live Sky Cam network currently showing 74 degrees, humidity at 87%, and a little bit of an east wind, east-northeast between say 3 and 8 miles per hour right now. And looks like a pretty good start for most of southeast Texas. There have been a couple of showers out along the coast. That's been about it. And you can see right here from our 12 News studio, this camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. The sun's starting to come up over downtown Beaumont for this morning. Temperatures right now mixed between say 73s and 72s. 172 at Jasper, 74 in Woodville, then 76 in Port Arthur. Then, like I said, 73s. Orange, Beaumont, Silsbee, and Kirbyville all sitting at about 73. A lot of activity across the state right near this front. You can see it extends all the way out towards El Paso, where they've been getting some showers overnight, and we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms out in the Gulf. None of those really reaching into southeast Texas for this morning. They've kind of skirted the Gulf, but none of them's kind of worked their way northward. So pretty quiet start out there if you're heading to work or school. I wouldn't worry about having to run into too much in the way of any rain, but take the umbrella. We are expecting to see a little bit more in the way of some scattered showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Here's current radar, and you see most of the activity is staying out into the Gulf. One batch of some heavier rains, and those are drifting off towards the southwest, so not northward. Our futurecast showing fairly dry weather through the morning into the early afternoon, and then late afternoon, evening. That's when we start to see that scattered shower and thunderstorm activity start to balloon up across the area. So like I said, 30-40% coverage. Temperatures reach the lower 90s today, and then overnight we're expecting mostly clear skies and temperatures back into the 70s. So we'll go variable clouds today, 30% coverage towards the lakes, and then 40% for inland southeast Texas and the Triangle, with highs about 92, 93. No rain expected overnight with mostly clear skies. We'll see those middle to lower 70s once again. And then our 7-day forecast shows a few showers still tomorrow, and then with a front coming in late Friday into Saturday, that ramps up our rain chances 60% Friday night, 50% Saturday first half of the day. Once that front moves towards the Gulf, drier and slightly cooler air comes in. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, no rain, and we'll see some lows in the 60s.
All right, Jeff, and just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. Perfect for Friday night football. All right, this November, voters are going to be able to decide whether to bring some big changes to Beaumont. One of those bond proposals on the ballot is going to include a new police headquarters, and we've showed you the conditions of that current facility just a few weeks ago. But this morning, Beaumont Police Chief Tim Oknashek, he's in studio with us this morning to talk more about the current conditions and his vision for a new headquarters. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So tell me about these challenges you guys currently have down here with this outdated, and you described in 6 o'clock just how outdated this facility is and kind of what you're hoping to have in a new facility.
Well, I think you mentioned it earlier, we'd like to have a one-stop shop. We have people spread out throughout the city in 7 different facilities, and bring those together, create more efficiencies. We have difficulty with even parking of the employees, much less the public, and people that coming in for training or meetings. Very difficult to access. The landlocked location right now. The heavy maintenance issues. The single elevator is routinely out of service. The infrastructure for the building is very old. And so, there's a lot of changes that need to be made just to make it so that it doesn't flood all the time. It has a basement. That's sort of unusual in southeast Texas, especially when you're 200 yards from the Neches River. And so, there's lots of, whether it's mold or whether it's just rooms being too small, significant space issues with property and evidence, having to go to multiple buildings to, complete orders for preparing, whether it's preparing for court or open record requests or just getting evidence to return their property.
The current facility doesn't sound like it's efficient at all. It doesn't sound like it has what you need to be operating here in 2025. It was built back in the Cold War. It doesn't even have a woman's locker room. Y'all had to add that, I suppose, or something. Has things you're not using anymore, an old courtroom in there, an old jail in there. So here's a question for you, Chief, when it comes to a one-stop shop. How does that make the deployment of officers more efficient, or how does that make people feel safer, I suppose? Why should they feel safer with a new headquarters?
Well, I think the big issue is the accessibility of the public. You know, when you need something, you shouldn't have to be exposed by coming in the lobby to sex offenders doing their weekly registration. You know, we have to combine everybody into one area because that's what the facility accommodates right now. You shouldn't have to park a block away. You should be able to have easy access, whether you're, you know, in a wheelchair carrying a big box of, you know, equipment. You know, just the general access is very difficult in a 4-level building. Elevator only accessing one, so if you have to come up for an interview or a meeting and the elevator's out, you're restricted to a stairway, which is, you know, for the public. And even some of the staff we have sometimes that can get difficult. If you're carrying big loads of stuff, dollies of equipment, you need a freight elevator or ability to move up and down in all the floors that are there. The efficiencies of being able to just handle all types of business without, oh, well, this issue has to be handled in a different facility, so go over to this location. Whereas most issues can be handled at this location. So there's a lot of efficiencies and public accessibility that can be benefited by having a modern facility with technological advances that are here. The building in the construction itself makes it very difficult to have, you know, whether it's cell phone usage, putting in wiring for internet and so forth.
Okay, Chief, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's going to be a big decision for the voters in November, and you've really laid out a clear vision for why this is needed, and we'll see what the voters decide in a couple of months here.
Sure.
All right. Well, here is a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Your time is now 7:22. Jeff Gerber, he's going to be right back with another look at your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected.
Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
All right, Cracker Barrel, they are going back to using their original logo after the company got some major backlash. Even President Trump weighed in, asking the company to revert to its old design. That change, it was part of a wider effort to modernize the restaurant, but it didn't get its intended reaction. Cracker Barrel shares dropped more than 10% since the new logo was introduced. In a statement yesterday, the restaurant said, quote, "If the last few days have shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have," end quote. Now, people, they now want the company to change back the inside back to its old country and cluttered aesthetic as well.
At the bus stop, a couple isolated showers along the coast. That's about it. Most of us should be looking at dry weather this morning. Isolated shower possible at lunch, and then about a 30-40% coverage of some scattered showers late this afternoon. Along the coast, a east wind at 5 to 10 knots brings our seas to around 2 feet. High tide coming up at 7:43 for tonight. Our sunrise, we've already passed that at 6:51 this morning. Our sunsets at 7:44. Look for a light chop on the inland lakes and bays today with some scattered rain, and water temperature right now in the upper 80s in the Gulf. You can see at Texas Point right now we're looking at a northeasterly wind at 12 with some gusts to 14, probably because of some of those showers and thunderstorms we've seen right along the coast. Looks like about a 30-40% coverage of some rain later this afternoon as we head towards the weekend. We also see some rain in the forecast. We'll look at that coming up in weather in just a little bit.
All right, Jeff, coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus in our 7 o'clock hour, tragic news out of the Jasper County. A child's died after, and another was hurt after a UTV crash in Beech Grove. Details from DPS. Plus, loved ones, they remember a woman found dead near Vidor last week. The man investigators have identified as a person of interest. And the city of Orange lays out the welcome mat, the major money that it is willing to offer HEB if it builds a new grocery store in the heart of the city. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong. Tia, she has the rest of the week off. Your time is now 7:30, so let's go ahead and take a look at our top stories this morning. First up, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, they have confirmed that a missing man's body was found at McFadden Beach. Deputies saying that Martin Gack's body was found Monday in the sand dunes. He went missing last Wednesday after his vehicle got stuck nearby in the sand. His mother says that he walked away and never returned. We are still waiting to hear more about the cause of death. And a Beaumont man's in jail after police say that he stole an SUV at gunpoint, a carjacking. They say Arthur Goldsby stole a teen's car on Pine Haven. Now that SUV was found and Goldsby was arrested. Police saying that he admitted to stealing the car, although the teen told the police that it was 3 people who were involved in the carjacking. Officers, they are still looking into whether any other suspects were involved. And a man is in the hospital after a motorcycle crash on I-10 access road yesterday near Adams Bayou. Pinehurst police say that he lost control as he approached a curve and slid into a guardrail. He was rushed to the hospital in serious condition. Now that stretch of road, it used to be a bridge right there, but now there isn't one anymore, so drivers must make a turnaround. We have seen at least 4 crashes there in the past year since that bridge was shut down. And the FAA investigators, they spent yesterday in Hardin County after that emergency plane landing near the airport earlier this week. The pilot, who authorities say is from Orange, walked away uninjured, according to Sheriff Mark Davis. He made a rough landing in a field after experiencing problems with a single-engine plane. He had approached the airport unaware that the runway was closed. All right, it's time to take a live look outside now from our Roofing 911 live Skycam network above the 12 News studio in Beaumont. That sun is up over the horizon, and Jeff Gerber standing by to tell us about today's forecast. How's it looking out there today, Jeff?
Looks like we could get a little wet later on this afternoon, so enjoy that sunshine out there for this morning. Plenty of it here around the triangle. There are a few clouds up towards the lakes area, though, for this morning. Temperatures have been sitting there into the lower 70s this morning. Woodville's now dropped to 73, and then Silsbee at 73, Beaumont's at 73, Orange is at 73. Kirbyville, not getting a report right now, but we've been seeing temperatures near 73 there as well. And then we're looking at about 72 in Jasper and 76 in Port Arthur. So looks like a pretty dry start. We might see a couple of showers near the coast. As we get into the afternoon, we'll see our rain coverages go to about 20% of isolated shower, all the way up to about 40%, meaning some scattered showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon into the early evening. It's going to be another hot day, expecting temperatures to climb up there into the lower 90s with a little bit of an east wind, maybe a little bit more southeast by late in the day, but still an east wind between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. Better rain chances actually come as we head towards Friday into Saturday. Then after that, looks like a dry holiday and maybe a little bit more comfortable on Labor Day. We'll take a look at that in our weather coming up in just a bit.
All right, Jeff. We're following some devastating news this morning out of Jasper County. DPS confirming an 11-year-old was killed in a UTV crash last night in the Beech Grove area. Now, according to the Beech Grove Volunteer Fire Department, this happened around 6 p.m. on County Road 146. DPS says that the child driver was speeding when he went around a curve and flipped. Crews, they found that UTV on its side with the 11-year-old boy trapped underneath. It was a home health nurse who was in the area that helped slide that child out from under the vehicle. He was rushed to the hospital, but sadly he later died. DPS says a 7-year-old was also riding in that UTV and they were injured. That child is expected to be okay, though. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. We also have an update this morning from Orange County after a shooting Monday that left a woman injured. Deputies say that they've arrested a suspect. Investigators say Robert Drody III shot 64-year-old woman at a home on Kennedy Drive in Pine Forest. Now, before she was rushed to the hospital, she was able to give deputies a description of the suspect. Deputies, they caught up with Drody near a wooded area later that night. He was arrested on 2 outstanding burglary warrants out of Sabine County, but Sheriff Mike Smith says that charges for this shooting, they are still pending. The woman is expected to be okay. Also, family members of Bammy Carmaine, they gathered yesterday to remember the woman that they call one of a kind. They say that she was a friend to everyone. Carmaine, she was found dead inside of a cabin near Vidor last Thursday morning. The Orange County Sheriff's Office is investigating her death as suspicious. They've arrested this man right here, Adrian Echeverria, on unrelated charges, but say that he is a person of interest in her death. And in the meantime, a GoFundMe has been set up for her funeral expenses. Brian Haney says that his mother, Bammy, was magnetic and that she was taken from him much too soon. 12 News reporter Cameron Burchett has the latest.
She was just in a place where she was starting to live life big again.
Brian Haney says his mother, Bammy Carmaine, lived a life to the fullest.
She was taken too soon from us, and of course, no one was prepared for that.
Haney says she enlisted in the Army at 17 years old and dedicated 34 years of her life to nursing, retiring a year ago.
She was putting herself through nursing school, working a full-time job, raising me as a single mother, but so she is the strongest, most hardest working woman I knew.
Cindy Zamora is a longtime family friend. She says Bammy's strong spirit helped shape her into the person she is today.
She was always like, there is no crying around here. If you're gonna cry, don't cry around here. She always wanted to be strong. So that's one thing that I got from her and why I'm not going to cry today.
Other family members shared that she was an avid outdoors woman.
Growing up as a kid, of course, we stayed at the beach fishing, took me hunting a few times.
Her stepson Dylan Carmaine shared that her personality made her unique.
She is one of a kind and will always be one of a kind. I'll never meet one like her again.
Close friends and family are continuing to push forward through the struggle.
If you don't stop living, you keep going, you keep fighting, and that was how she got through a lot of things.
I think she'll be remembered for a long time.
And her son there says that her memorial service, they are still being finalized. All right, time for some Golden Triangle growth. Orange's Northway Shopping Center, now home to a Market Basket grocery store. It's going to be torn down and replaced with a new and larger HEB. 12 News reporter Derek Jones live in studio this morning. He has more on the city's decision to give this project $1.5 million. Derek?
Mark, after a year in the planning stages, HEB received approval last night for a $1.5 million grant, and it's from the city's Economic Development Corporation and will help fund the development. City documents show HEB bought out everything on the block with the exception of Frenius Kidney Care. The HEB representative at last night's city council meeting told us he wasn't allowed to answer our questions, but he did speak at the meeting and explained the company's plans to purchase the Northway Shopping Center. Even with city council approving the city funds, HEB says the project is not set in stone. If this does move forward, shopping center tenants will be forced to relocate, including the Triangle Area Network Health Clinic.
So we just want to make sure that we're prepared and that we have as much information that we need in order to make the best decisions for our staff, for our program, and for our patients.
Another tenant, Paul Birch, is an Orange City Council member. He also owns a hair salon at the shopping center. He says timing is his biggest worry and hopes HEB gives tenants enough time to relocate. Many council members and several Orange residents say they're excited about the new and much larger store, saying it will be a huge boost to the local economy. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek. And speaking of HEB, the store has revealed its finalist for its 2025 Quest for Texas Best. Now, every year for the past 12 years, HEB has put out a call to small business owners in the state to have their items considered for a chance to win big. Now, out of more than 370 products statewide, only 10 of them made the cut. And we're talking about innovations like a crawfish peeling gadget, a drink bomb cocktail mixers, and lavish goat bath products. Now, winners, they can score cash, mentoring, even a shot to have their products placed on HEB shelves. With big flavors and big ideas, it makes sense because in Texas, even grocery competitions go big. And in your health news this morning, now more than ever, families want to know exactly what's in their food, and many, they are turning to technology for answers. Allison Gormley, she has more on the apps that can make life a little easier.
Marketing can make food look healthy. I'm a child of the 90s, so if it says diet or low fat or the labels look appealing, I just thought that was how we should eat.
That's one of the reasons Amy Peters uses an app during her trips to the grocery store.
The things that I'm most concerned about are things like the additives, the processed ingredients.
Her app of choice, Yuka. After she scans an item using her phone's camera, it's ranked on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 being a perfect score. Ratings are based on nutrition, additives, and if it's organic.
18 out of 100, dang it. Why? Oh, a lot of additives.
Below the numerical rating is an option to learn more.
I want to know what the high risk or the limited risks are and what they do. Like, I don't know what that is. And so it'll just kind of show me right here what they've found in different studies.
An education rather than an end-all is how dietitian Terry Boros suggests using the app.
To create their rating, they're using something called the Nutri-Score, which has some pros and cons, in my opinion.
A pro, she said, a focus on fruits and veggies while minimizing sodium and excess saturated fats. A con, flagging items that are energy dense, which means a lot of calories relative to its size. For example, sunflower kernels.
Even though they're an energy-dense food, they're actually very healthy for you and have a lot of great healthy fats and minerals and vitamins.
If you want to skip the app, there are other tools that can help you research food.
The USDA has a great website, in my opinion, nutrition.gov, that has a lot of information.
Helping you understand ingredients best for your family.
And as we ease back into the school season, it is important to remember that what our child eats can directly impact their classroom performance. And experts say a well-balanced diet plays a key role in a child's focus, energy, and memory, all essential for a productive day of learning. One pediatrician also emphasizing the importance of staying hydrated. Water, she says, helps improve concentration and mental clarity. All in all, good nutrition and hydration, they can set them up for a great start and finish to the school year.
So we really want to be providing our kids with whole foods, things like fruits and vegetables, whole grains and proteins, avoid sugary snacks, sugary beverages. We don't want that mid-morning sugar crash.
So whether you are packing lunch or sending a snack, make sure to focus on fueling your child with the right foods for a successful day. And speaking of back to school, one kid's class photo, it's going viral. When Kaylee Spencer dropped her 2-year-old daughter Hadley off at daycare, a teacher made a curious remark saying, "You're going to have to wait to see Hadley's class photo." Check this out.
Show me how you smiled. You did? Yeah.
No, that's how she smiled right there. She was sure to get that full grin pulled from ear to ear. Seems practice went well, but Hadley decided on her own signature smile, making a silly face. Kaylee shared this on TikTok, where it quickly went viral and the internet loved it. Nothing better than a funny back-to-school photo. All right, coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus in our 7 a.m. hour, planning a last-minute Labor Day getaway, the deals you still might be able to get, and those that may be hard-pressed to find, plus more documents related to the Robb Elementary shooting. They've been released. A deep dive into what's being revealed.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m.
We bring you the latest breaking news
And keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
I was invited to a party and I drank a few glasses of wine. I take off. The next thing you know, I see 2 pairs of lights behind me. They arrest me. It hurt. Now I have an ignition interlock system in my car and I have to blow in it every day just to turn my car on. When my son sees it, I hear him in the back seat. Daddy, what are you blowing in? It's embarrassing. My name is Eric Guerra. I had just a few glasses of wine, 8 months out, and I'm still dealing with the consequences of it.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with another hurricane tip, protecting yourself against damaging wind. Secure or bring inside outdoor items such as lawn furniture and trash cans to prevent them from endangering property or people. Trim or remove trees close enough to fall on your home and protect windows with permanent storm shutters or sheeting. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Good morning. Running late, trying to get to work by 8 o'clock. Well, you don't have to worry about the weather getting in your way too much. There is a lot of sunshine, so make sure you have the sunglasses. Here's a look up towards Jasper, though. We do have a few clouds up in the Jasper area for this morning. This camera brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofy 911 Live Skycam network. Temperatures out the door into the lower to middle 70s, 74 right now in Beaumont, 76 in Port Arthur. Then we drop back to 73 in Orange, Silsbee, Woodville. Jasper currently at about 72. Have a front that's coming out of the Gulf across Texas, and that's been the focus for some showers and thunderstorms for this morning, mainly south of the front. We saw a few showers kind of creep up towards the coast and then die down, or at least move back out into the Gulf. So nothing across the immediate area. There is some rain to our north, just to the say south and east of Dallas. Some rain also out towards El Paso and through Oklahoma, Arkansas for this morning. Here's a closer look at radar, and there are a few showers that made it just into the corner of southwestern Jefferson County, pretty close to High Island there. A little bit of a heavy downpour kind of working their way towards that. Besides that, it's, like I said, pretty quiet. Here's current radar. You can see that one little cluster of some showers right near the beach, but besides that, looks like a pretty good start out there for this morning. Triangle looks dry, especially Port Arthur over towards Orange and here in Beaumont. As we look at temperatures, we go climbing up through the 80s for this morning. We'll level out in the lower 90s for the afternoon. And you can see late afternoon, evening, that's when we'll start to see about a 30-40% coverage of some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. Should die down by mid-evening, and then overnight we'll fall back right there into the 70s. Once again, a lot of middle 70s, a few lower 70s up towards the lakes. So 30-40% coverage today. We'll look at temperatures around 92 or 93. And then as we go towards tonight, we'll be in the 70s with mostly clear skies. 40% coverage today. We'll drop that a little bit to 30% on Thursday. And then here comes our next front that's going to move through the area. And that's going to give us a good chance of rain. Looks like Saturday morning early and then Friday night late. So could affect Friday night football at this point. We'll have to wait and see. After that, though, the clouds really start to clear out a little bit. The moisture moves out as well. We'll see some nice mornings back into the 60s, and then afternoons less humidity and right near 90, which is not bad for this time of year.
Yeah, it could be triple digits almost. You know, all this rain has certainly seemed to keep that away.
You know what the record high for today is?
What?
The record high for today set back in 2023, 111. Actual temperature.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
All right. I hope it clears up for Friday night. But thanks a lot, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. And just last night, a new round of documents and emails related to the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde. They were released, and it comes a day after a firm representing Uvalde CISD admitted to accidentally withholding some 26,000 pages despite a court order telling them to release them. Jeremy Rogalowski has the deep dive into what has been found.
The emails reinforce some of the missteps already made public about the school massacre, like this notice saying the students and staff are safe in the building. It was sent out minutes after the mass shooting began. They also shed light on the messaging considered by Uvalde CISD, like this press release draft, which read, "The assailant was contained by these agencies, allowing the evacuation of all of our precious students," which tragically wasn't true. The documents provide a glimpse into the investigation after the massacre, the Texas Rangers asking for door maintenance records for classroom doors and outside doors, and U.S. Customs and Border Protection requested help in locating blueprints or construction plans for Robb Elementary. And the trove of records also show an outpouring of sympathy from educators across the country, including Santa Fe High School and Sandy Hook Elementary, which endured similar tragedy.
Our firm was in charge of doing the release of records.
The emails should have been included in documents released weeks ago under a court order, but the law firm representing Uvalde CISD told the school board Monday it had made a mistake.
We were wrong. We had not released all of the responsive information.
And one school board member said, quote, the word negligent comes to mind regarding how that law firm handled these things. Thousands more documents. They are still expected to be released on a rolling basis in the coming days. All right, looking ahead to this weekend as thousands of Americans prepare for their Labor Day travels. It's one of the busiest travel weekends and famous for those last-minute trip scheduling. It's the end of summer after all. The TSA plans to screen more than 17 million passengers with nearly 3 million expected to fly on Friday alone. However, AAA expects many will stay closer to home, taking road trips to nearby beaches or national parks. Their advice, leave early, beat the backups. And if you haven't made plans yet, last-minute flight deals, they are hard to find, but you'll do better on hotels and rental cars.
Those types of travel typically like to fill any unfilled availability. Rental cars actually are on average cheaper when booked within 7 days of the trip than booked 3 months out. And then with hotels, you can use sites like Hotel Tonight to find those last-minute hotel room deals.
If you do decide to fly, try avoid taking off Friday or coming back Monday, but good news at the pump. Gas prices, they are expected to stay below last year's levels. All right, you hear the music. It's that time to talk about our latest. Through the end of the month, 12 News, we are still helping to clear the shelters. And meet Cher. What a cute little pup right there. She's a year old and she is available at Beaumont Animal Care, the shelter. They are doing a $20 adoption all month long. So now is your chance to make Cher or any of those beautiful animals they have down there part of your family. And we have an exciting update. 218 pets have been adopted so far during our campaign. We appreciate everyone who is helping Southeast Texas clear the shelters. All right, live look outside of Beaumont. When Daybreak returns, we're going to have more news and weather in your morning rush out. Your time is now 7:52.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue,
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers
Taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, don't mess with Texas, means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, cleaning up safely. After the storm has passed, avoid damaged or fallen power lines, poles, and downed wires in case of electrocution. Wear appropriate protective equipment including gloves, goggles, and boots. Clean and disinfect everything that got wet, and when moving heavy debris, work with a partner. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
All right, welcome back to Daybreak. Just about to turn 7:55 right now on your Wednesday morning. That means it's time for your morning rush out. Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. DPS, they're confirming an 11-year-old was killed in a UTV crash yesterday in the Beech Grove area on County Road 146. According to DPS, that child was driving. They were speeding when they went around a curve and flipped. Crews, they found the boy trapped underneath. He died at the hospital. A 7-year-old pastor was also injured, but that child is expected to be okay. And Robert Drody III has been arrested. He's accused of shooting a 64-year-old woman Monday at a home in Pine Forest. She gave deputies a description of the suspect who caught Drody near a wooded area later that night. He had 2 outstanding burglary warrants out of Sabine County. Charges for that shooting are pending. The woman is expected to be okay. And Orange City Council, they voted unanimously yesterday to offer $1.5 million to entice HEB to build a new store where the Northway Shopping Center currently is. It currently includes a Market Basket grocery store there. The center would be torn down. HEB says that the project is not set in stone, but if the project does move forward, the shopping center tenants, they would be forced to relocate.
And about a 40% coverage of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly this afternoon, early evening. We're looking at temperatures in the lower 90s for today. Still about a 30% chance of a couple of showers tomorrow. And then with our front coming through Friday and a Saturday, we up our rain coverages to 60% for late Friday, 50% first half of the day on Saturday. By Saturday night, things will be clearing out, and then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday look good. Lows in the 60s, highs in the lower 90s. And of course, Monday is Labor Day. I have, looks like no problems with outdoor plans on Monday.
Looks like a great day.
Yeah.
All right, here's a reason to smile. Southeast Texas, we just can't get enough of DJ Daniel. And yesterday up in New York City, he was sworn in as the newest honorary deputy mayor for public safety. Mayor Eric Adams did the honors. 13-year-old DJ, he has been battling brain cancer, and he has been sworn into over 1,300 law enforcement agencies, including several here in the 409. Way to go, DJ. And thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus. Jeff and I, we're going to be back at the midday show, so be sure to tune in at 11.
Have a great day, everybody.
All right, it's been 1 year since Beaumont passed an illegal camping ordinance, and tomorrow morning